Hiya Mark, lovely to meet up with you on the range on Sunday and further the work on your game. Just to go over the key points from your session. Previously we talked about moving forward from the top and the importance of that. In all fairness to you, you've done a really good job of improving your setup based on your previous lesson, and you've really tried hard to get that lower body or get that weight moving forward continuously during the downswing. If we look at the top of the backswing here from the original swings that you made during your lesson, nice full shoulder turn, legs working well, left knee kicking in a little bit too much, but nothing to worry about at that stage. As you'll see later, that progresses nicely. If we look at your swing towards the end of your lesson here on the bottom right, we can see a much shorter, more controlled backswing. We're keeping the arms on the rib cage during that one, and as a result, that left knee is a little bit more disciplined on the way back as well. So much better position at the end of your lesson than we had at the beginning of the lesson. Having said that, overall pretty good to go from there. We make an attempt from the top now to move forward. First move forward's not too bad, and then what we do now is, if you watch your head, you move back and up as you're coming into the hitting area. The main concern here is that moving back, that brings into play bottoming out behind the ball. We get what we call a release point here, the red line down from your hands that's well back of the golf ball, and we can see that the upper centre of the swing there has moved back a fraction. Lower centre hasn't really moved back a lot, and then as you progress into your swing, everything now is going to drop back, and you do run the risk of hitting the ground behind the ball. As a result, the left arm has already started to fold, elbows started to divide, and whenever that happens, the swing line shifts to the left, and we run the risk of hitting a lot of slice shots. If we watch what the better players are doing, we'll look at Grant White here down on the bottom left. We're going to see a strong move forward, continuing forward, and if we just take him back to that position, we've got a release point now here that's much nearer to the back of the ball, so therefore the circumference of the swing is a little bit shorter, and he now doesn't run the risk of hitting the ground behind the ball and can fully extend his arms on the way through, continuing to hit out at the golf ball. We look at you now, we're trying to move forward. We've got the cane restricting the movement away from the golf ball, coming down. You can see you make a much better attempt at that, and the elbows divide a little bit now, but not quite as much as we were seeing at the start of your session. So just play you back now to impact. So there's not quite the same amount of folding, there's not quite the same amount of moving back as you're coming into the hitting area, but there is a tendency to just pull the arms fraction apart as you come through, but nowhere near as much as we see here. So this is a much better move. Now here we had you doing your drill. The goal here is to try and hit in front of the golf ball. So we're actually trying to get you to miss the golf ball at this point, and you can see the effect that this has. Previously, play you back here, the release point a long way behind the golf ball, therefore the circumference of the swing very wide. On this one, release point still too wide compared to what we're seeing here with a better player coming into impact. And during the drill, from a good top of the backswing position, we're going to make a strong lateral move forward. That's going to keep the club coming from the inside, and you can see now that the angles in the right arm are maintained much better. The release point is much more over the top of the ball. Really, really good position from there. Certainly ain't going to hit the ground behind the ball from that point. Now as you come through, you're going to keep leading with a handle, and the arms are going to fully extend during the through swing. So we're going to hit out at the golf ball for much longer than we see on this one, and certainly on this one. So the idea is to try and prevent the club or the body moving back during the downswing and continue to straighten the arms during the through swing. Good luck with it, and I look forward to working with you again in the coming weeks. Well done.